Like brokers and carriers come together talking about each other. It's the only one. We just went over 400 attendees for this event. This is the fourth event. We're over that. I just got the leaderboard update. 122 motor carriers, 111 freight brokers. The motor carriers are representing. They're coming out strong.
Good.
So.
No, that's really good.
That's
actually better.
There's about to be another broker there because Raquel's going to sign up right now. Right?
That's right. Let's go, Raquel. Let's go. Get you down there. This is where you meet carriers.
The acronym of BCS is, right?
Please tell me.
Audacious Cowboy Summit.
Oh man, that's oh gosh. Where's
See,
the
like this bodacious cowboy guy? That's it.
Oh, wrong one. This is the Broker Carrier Summit edition because we are 5 days away from the Broker Carrier Summit in Fort Worth, Texas. Jeff, you got to say that again because I hit the wrong button. So just tell us again, what does the BCS really stand for?
It stands for the Bodacious Cowboy Summit. BCS.
They caught you with that.
And always thinks of me. Always thinks of me.
I like it, Jeff.
Hey, listen, we went over 400 attendees in the middle of the night. We're at 406 for this event and more to sign up. We still have 5 days to go. If you haven't signed up yet, and Raquel, I'm looking at you, you can go to brokercarriersummit.com and sign up for the event. Join us in Fort Worth next Wednesday through Friday, October 23 to 25. It's going to be a great day. With that said, let's go around the horn and see who's here today. From Chicago, we got our man from BWS Logistics, the one and only, the Bus. Rob Bussey in the house. What's up, my friend?
The Magic Bus is in the house.
I noticed that we have
removed
and eliminated all Cardinals gear, is what I see. No more Cardinals gear because they stink.
You're not going to believe this, but I asked my wife, where's my Cardinal hat? I can't find it.
Really? She threw it out. It's that bad. She's like, it's gone.
I don't know.
She's like, no more. It's not happening anymore. Coming to us from Butler, PA, the home of presidential assassinations. Our good friend Raquel Davis in the house. What's up, my friend? Good to see you.
Wonderful to be back. Happy Friday.
So glad that you are back with us today. We're having a great show. It's good to see you, my friend. The energy is just different when you're here. I got to say that it's just different. So I'm glad that you're bringing a little Beyonce into it. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Coming to us from New Jersey, no presidential assassinations just yet. The one and only Jeff Dickinson in the house. There it is. There it is. What do you mean certified non-scumbag, everybody?
That's right. Certified non-scumbag in the house.
What's up, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you.
I can't wait for the BCS. It'll be so much fun, man.
Really. It's gonna be good. And the guy running the whole show, the whole program, coming to us from Boston, Massachusetts, the one and only McNuts, Kyle McNutt.
Hold on, I wanted to show my dick too, just like Jeff did. Oh wait, that's not what we were doing there? I thought we were just showing down dong.
Here we go.
I thought I was following Jeff. I thought it was dong showing season. Sorry, Raquel. I know you haven't been here a while. For some reason, Jeff loves to show his dong to start off the show. I don't get the theme of it, but we've been with it for a while.
It's just me. It is what it is.
Ooh, Kung Fu fighting. Okay, here we go. Hey, great sweater vest, Coleman. You look so comfy right now. You look like a child. Scott, you're dope. Rob, you're the best. Your boys treated me so well. I hope they said my ratchet work was good. Al's, I got to give him a kiss once I see him.
Easy, Bud Light. Easy Bud Light.
I told you I'll drink a Coors Banquet beer, and you were like, "Oh, it's too strong for me. I'm a dad now."
No.
Speaking of the one and only Coleman Ruffin from Denver, Colorado, everybody.
I don't want to hear you guys talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. At least you all still have a baseball team. My Oakland A's officially gone. They are no longer.
Oh, that
Oakland.
is sad, man.
All right.
I mean, they still have a team technically, just not in Oakland anymore. Oakland is just like, man, I don't know. They've got a
nobody.
shaft.
They got nobody.
I mean, they don't have. I mean, Golden State Warriors
lived
moved
in
across the
Colorado.
bay,
Are they moving?
Raiders
To
gone,
Vegas?
Yeah, exactly. That's,
Athletics,
my allegiance still lies.
Where are they moving to? Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, they're literally playing in a minor league stadium in Sacramento
In
for the
Sacramento.
next 2 or 3 years because
Unbelievable.
the stadium isn't ready in Vegas. So it's like, oh, perfect.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, how many fans are gonna get in Sacramento? That's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait to
They'll
watch.
probably
it.
get more than in Oakland. Let's be honest.
And finally, from Armstrong Transport up in Boise, Idaho, the one and only Freight Sensei, Scott Watanabe in the house today. Look at that hat. Look at the swag, dude. Look at the Freight Hustler. I like it. Look at this. Let's go. Come on, Raquel. You gotta feel like you know it. 100% reason to remember. Hey, what's up, brother? How are you?
Oh, it's been a couple weeks. Been traveling, but I'm back. I'm glad to be in the office.
You've been traveling? Hold on. Wait a minute. You've been traveling? Where you been going?
I went to Detroit, then I went to
Store?
Disneyland. Took my girl to Disneyland.
Okay, Disney, that's family. I got that. But you went to Detroit for work, I presume.
It's pronounced Detroit, actually.
Detroit. Yeah, I went to Detroit. I didn't
They
have.
also have
wasn't able to get-
apocalyptic dude.
Do you have a plane ticket for next week? Is the
No.
question.
I do not.
Scott,
Oh, come on, Scott.
listen.
No.
We got to make this happen. I don't know what's going on with their Armstrong Transport. We got to get those guys on board with this. I can't quite figure it out. But anyways,
Start an
Well,
OnlyFans,
yes,
Scott.
Hey,
we'll do our
Get
best
money.
and have fun.
steady
Sorry,
income.
it's a fans only page. Sorry.
You take your shirt off. You do the booby dance you did after the Super Bowl loss. I'm guaranteeing we got enough money to make it to broker.
Yeah,
Case.
just
Oh,
give me
we'll-
another Super
we'll
Bowl.
do this.
Yes, get something etched.
make it rain.
Yeah.
Morgan and
Get the BCS tattoo. That's got to be a thing. We got to do something with that.
Yeah, there we
Someone has to
go.
get that. We got to get a BCS.
I'll be
That's
more
what
than
they
willing. I'm more than happy to lose another Super Bowl bet. How many views I got?
Hey, speaking of which, we got a little rematch this week, you and me, my friend. 3:25 Central
Loser
Time on
kisses.
Sunday. 49ers loser kisses. What?
Yeah, we bring up the broker carrier. Loser has to kiss the winner.
I'm
Wow.
going with 30.
Anywhere?
That's what hasn't. That hasn't
Oh wow! Wow, someone wants it. we
no,
got
I'm
Scott.
not.
We got Dre's
Listen,
attention. Scott, are you
I
willing?
might kiss a thumb or like a hand, but I'm not kissing anything else.
Hey,
I get what you're getting. I'm picking up.
Anything is
I was
possible.
literally about to say, there's no need to be. There doesn't have to be a bet, but then Trey made it weird.
Oh, Scott,
Well,
you
I
just
think-
down to
I
kiss?
mean,
Oh, we gotta get him to BCS, right, Jeff?
Yes, absolutely.
If he's just down to smooch, like Big Smooch is gonna hate him.
ETK.
Maybe we can do a GoFundMe to get this going to get Scott to the Broker Care Summit. We
Bring
need
Scott
to
to,
crowd-
to Fort Worth so he can
crowdsource.
smooch all the word on the street crew, except for Raquel.
I'll put in
Need
the first
crowd.
50.
We need to crowdsource this thing. That's what we're going to do. All right. So listen, Scott's not going to be there, but most of us here on the call are actually going to be at the Broker Care Summit. Raquel, maybe not this time, but definitely in April of
Yeah, you gotta
2025.
go,
Not too late,
Raquel.
my friend. It's not too late. Hop on a plane. Let's go. Next week, October 23rd through 25, brokercaresummit.com to sign up. Use the coupon code BETA, BETA, get 10% off. Don't forget about the Post and Prayer Classic. We got 72 golfers, I think, 72 golfers, something like that, signed up. So it's going to be a full tournament. It's going to be awesome. We got
a
some
great
great sponsors, some great giveaways. Branded Bills hats. Oh, they're so nice. I can't wait. Lots of cool stuff we're going to be giving away. So over 400 attendees, guys. Listen, we're moving and shaking. Kansas City had 360 attendees, and we're already at 406 for this one. I think we'll probably get close to
And
450
growing.
by the time we're done. Growing. We got currently 122 motor carriers signed up for this event. 111 freight brokers. So it's awesome. Love seeing the carriers get above the brokers. This is the first time we've had more carriers than brokers. So that's a huge trend that's moving the right direction. And we say that not to disparage brokers, but listen, one broker can help several carriers. One small carrier can only help maybe one or two brokers. So we need more carriers and brokers at this event. So we're moving the right direction with everything. Thanks to our friends over at Task for being the title sponsor of this. And we have over 40 sponsors involved in the Broker Carrier Summit. So a lot of momentum, a lot of support. It's going to be a great event. There we go. There's I love that. Appreciate that.
Round of applause.
So it's going to be good. It's going
We
to be
even
good.
have Trey. We even have some brokers who are stand up enough people to actually sponsor a
That's
trucking
right.
company for a trucker to come. And I think, I mean, I don't know who would do that, but I think it's very commendable.
You were a friend, Rob. See ya.
Oh man, Jeff's just out. No, BWS did sponsor a carrier, and I think we've had 5 or 6 sponsored carriers so far. In fact, also a shout out to Cale Pearson with B2B Transportation. He started a new clothing line called Broker Dude and Broker Babe, and with all the proceeds that he has sold so far, they've made actually sponsor a carrier through that. So we appreciate their support and what they're doing. So a lot of good stuff happening.
Hey, bring those two guys in behind you,
right now.
Raquel, who's behind you? Get him in the show. Just bring
I
him
think
in.
that's
Bring him
Lieutenant
in.
Dan's hugging his buddy.
Just bring him in.
And if
He's
you
like,
need
oh,
any
we're on TV.
supply chain, if you need any supply chain swag,
Moving
Trey's
on.
got you covered.
That's a pisser.
That's right. Hey, that's another announcement we got to talk about. We have something new that we just put out today. So excited about this. SupplyChainSwag.com. Listen, it's hard to get good swag, especially if you can't buy in bulk. Like if you can't buy 100 shirts at a time or 100 hats or whatever at a time, it's hard to do that. We've made it super easy. Your branded merch when you want it. It's a monthly subscription to have your own private collection of merchandise on the store. And then, hey, listen, you have a good sales call with a prospect, ship them a piece of swag. You got an employee that's killing it, get them some swag bucks so they can buy some swag. If you have a new employee, a new employee kit, you can do that for sure. If you got a customer celebrating an anniversary, you just want to say thanks. Send them a piece of swag with your merchandise on it. It's super simple, 1 piece at a time, 2 pieces at a time. It all ships directly. You don't have to store it anywhere. You don't have to go to the post office and do that. So it's pretty exciting. You just go to supplychainswag.com. It's really easy to sign up for a monthly subscription there. And we're currently giving 50% off for anybody who signs up in the next 10 days, basically, the month of October. 50% off your first 6 months. All you got to use is coupon code MYSWAG50, MYSWAG 50, and you get 50% off.
How's the wine list and the cigar list look?
I don't know about the Hawaiian list and cigar list. That may be something that's a special
Black and mild.
work on.
We'll
But I
put your
will say
logo on a
this:
black and mild.
we
That'd
do
be great.
have on the store in the creative merch ideas portal. We do have a water bottle with a Bodacious Cowboy on it. So I'm just saying. It's right there. Look at that. You
Can
can
I
buy
get the
yours
old-
today, folks. You can buy a Bodacious Cowboy water bottle right there. We got to get the Freight Sensei water bottle on there. I got to get that back on there, but we don't have that one yet. We got to get that one on.
Can
So
we
a lot
get the
of
old
stuff-
school? Can we get your retro logo of your your outline of your
Snake?
face?
The
Yeah, can
retro
we get
logo
that?
is on there. Yeah, you'll
Can we get
find
that
it.
on a condom?
Okay, bye, guys.
What is it? With that, we'd like to say thanks to our sponsors, Highway and Greenscreens.ai, for supporting the show. Appreciate
And
it.
Magnum.
Single use version of the logo. Oh
You are a
man,
madman, dude.
going off the rails here.
Every time.
Going
Every time.
off the rails.
I love that
No,
guy.
but-
I love that guy.
But
Great
seriously,
reason not to have a special guest.
I will say that's right.
I feel like
All that to
Raquel's a
say,
special guest.
I am excited about this launch because I work with a lot of startups, and a lot of startups don't have any merch. They don't have any swag, and this gives them a chance to have swag and to be able to send it one at a time. Moniva's on there, Sales Dash CRM is on there, Brush Pass Research is on there. So there's several. Tyson Lawrence is on there. We're on there, of course. And so this just gives you a way to send out swag without having to think about it. It's just super easy. So check it out, supplychainswag.com. Love to have you sign up and tell us how we can get better. By the way, we can also do bulk orders. So if you got Christmas orders coming up, or if you got bulk orders that you need, we can also do that. But this is to make it super easy and convenient for everybody to send 1 or 2 things at a time. So that's it. Awesome. Okay. Let's jump into our segment today. What's the word? Sponsored again by our friends over at Highway and Green Screens. A couple things to talk about. So let's get a little update on Hurricane Milton and Helene recovery. Jeff, I want to swing it to you, my friend. What is going on?
Hey, you know what? I've been getting a lot of support from many, many people. We already sent down not 1, not 2, but 6 full truckloads
Are you serious?
down
Let's
there.
go.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, well over like 220,000 pounds of real
That is
needed
incredible. That
material.
is absolutely incredible, dude.
We got brand new
Yeah.
generators. We got
Kids
you know
loving
what?
it. The kids are loving it, man.
I'll tell you right now, getting all the accolades and stuff, it's not about me and all about them. We have to still focus on it because it's a long haul. It's not like a sprint. It's a marathon. We got to keep that support up, guys.
Now, Milton was not nearly as strong as they predicted it would be, but Tampa got hit pretty hard. Do we have any updates on how recovery is going for Milton overall? I haven't really had a chance to keep up getting ready for BCS. What do we know about that?
Yeah, that was tough because it happened all within 2-week period of time. 2 major catastrophes at the same time. And don't forget about the tornadoes that hit the Atlantic side down, southeast Florida. They had a lot of damage.
Did you guys shift any of your supplies to Florida, or did they all go to
No,
North Carolina?
no, because of we were concentrating on Asheville, North Carolina, and we just didn't have the power to swing. I really wanted to help them out, but everything was en route. Everything was being, promoted. Let's go for Asheville and Black Mountain and Bat Cave. So, we couldn't do it, but I wish I could. They still need the support down there. So don't forget about them.
Yeah, and our friend Matt Shore, who was on the show last week from
Yes.
Maine Weber Logistics, also doing a lot of recovery operations
I
type
spoke
work
with him this
for
past
them, which
week,
was awesome
yes.
to see. So that's good. So again, remind people, how can they still participate with this?
Well, you can go to there's many, like there's Knights of Columbus that have a website out there that are taking in donations. Well,
Are you guys taking any more donations or anything, or have you kind of?
Yeah, it's still open. It's still open because again, they're going to need this support and donations to cover them for months to come. And remember, a lot of these people lost their homes and everything, so they're going to need like gloves, boots,
Everything, yeah.
blankets, all that kind of stuff. Because you can't forget, North Carolina get winters too, and it gets cold down there. And they don't have the gas because all those gas stations were underwater and water got into their tanks. They need propane. A lot of them are just using charcoal grills and grilling outside. It's terrible. It really is.
Yeah, and we've heard continued reports this week that they're still discovering bodies of people that have gone missing. There's still a lot of people unaccounted
crazy.
for. I mean, it's pretty wild when you think about an entire town just being completely wiped off the map.
Wiped out.
Who was going to say that? Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, go ahead, Rico.
I have a client down in Tampa, and he said it was like 4 feet of water everywhere.
Yeah, and
Everything's
sand
underwater.
and sand into the buildings.
Yeah.
like a couple football fields off the water line. It's terrible. And don't forget, Colleen came in first, and they had all these trash mounds, in St. Pete that the FEMA couldn't get rid of. So I didn't hear much about that. I wonder what happened to that debris when the winds came in and where all that debris went.
I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
Shrapnel.
Yeah.
I'm
My
definitely not trying to
he ran out
throw
Bud
shade.
Light. That was bad in Tampa. He lives down there, but he found a Publix that was open and he got it. So, I mean, crisis averted. But yeah, Tampa was hit hard. I mean, the Trop got brutal. The Trop got.
I'm not trying to throw shade at Florida, but that state is going to be underwater in the next 50 years. I feel like it is.
Settle
absolutely-
down, Mountain High. The city's
Oh, yeah.
fine. They were built different.
Downer. Jeez.
Yeah, jeez. Did you not hear my uplifting story about my brother finding Bud Light at the open Publix because of
There you
generators?
go.
We're fine. Floridians find a way. Yeah,
Resilient, man.
that's like a goddamn
got
leaf peeper.
Mark it right here. Let's check in 50 years and see where
50 years, we'll check. If we're still in the year in 50
You're
years.
gonna look the exact same. No facial hair and no grays.
Probably.
Facts.
Jeff's just a skeleton.
Hey, Floridians are very resilient, though. They got
Couple
alligators on the golf
daisies,
course.
growing out of my grave.
Yeah, that's
I
what it
think,
is.
okay, have we talked about this before? One of the coolest things that happens in Florida is at least once or twice a year about the frozen iguanas.
Yeah, they
Did we talk about that?
It's not cool.
Yeah,
it's
they-
annoying. Those things are
They
annoying as hell.
literally, there's 1 or 2 times a year where it gets cold enough where they have iguanas there that they get so cold they freeze and they all fall out of the trees. And then the next morning people are like, oh my god, they're all dead. And it's like, no, don't kill them or don't do anything. They'll thaw and literally get up and just go back up.
That's in Miami alone, and those things are
Is it?
disease-ridden. You
Miami
don't
can't
touch those
freeze.
things; they're
It never
gross.
gets cold enough to freeze
It
in
does
Miami.
get cold one time, and all the UGG boots come out. It gets
It's
cold
so
once
fun.
a year, and by cold I mean 75, and they're like, you gotta throw
right.
everything on. This is freezing.
Jackets come on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
People start shaving their heads.
So those people may not be as resilient in Miami because they can't handle 60-degree weather, but everyone else is pretty resilient. We got gators on the golf courses, folks. I mean, how do you move from?
Oh, can anybody else hear him?
Nope.
Someone
That's
just
good.
changed.
Hey,
Here it goes,
supplychainswag.com. Get
Pay
a branded
your freaking
microphone.
bill, all right?
He's out.
Going for
He's
freaking
gone.
novice hour.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even
Will you? You know
yeah,
what you're
I was
doing.
gonna say, I don't even
Go.
think it was like his connection, right?
It
I think
wasn't
was
like
his
his
microphone.
connection,
Nah.
Yeah, his microphone just dipped for a second.
He buys cheap items, man. Look. See?
No, it's just your microphone. That's all it is.
That's
It's
This
not
is
your
why you
computer.
hire a professional AV for your
Let the
conferences.
professional take over. Call
Hey,
me,
yeah,
please.
and I was gonna say on a side note, anybody
Who you
looking for a
prefer?
professional AV, 5 Tool Productions does a great job.
Yeah,
Just
Don't
kinda
talk about my
beta.
business.
Like,
Spooky Kyle, let's
Don't
go.
mention me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
yes.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
I'm back. Okay. Well, I switched it to
Spooky.
AirPods. I switched it off of my podcast mic, so maybe I just need a new mic. We'll see.
Sometimes cheap is better.
Well, AirPods aren't cheap, but anyways.
Rob, you're muted.
So
Rob, you're muted.
amateur hour right here.
I see Rob's lips moving. I don't know if he's talking about.
Hold on, I can lip
I
read.
was-
Go ahead, Rob.
I wanted to put on my tray mic real quick. Now I'm back. Okay. I just wanted to ask Kyle
Thanks.
a quick question because I know you're starting to do a lot of events and you're traveling all over and great. It's amazing and you guys are doing a lot of shows and it's very important that your equipment arrives safe. Are there any companies you could recommend to ship like live event or trade show shipping?
There's only one company I trust when it comes to shipping my stuff, and I'll tell you what, it ain't that Armstrong because it's more like, is it broken, right? I only go with the best, and the best is BWS. I shipped from BWS. They were great. They picked up. I'm an idiot. I completely forgot about needing a pallet jack and a lift gate. Easily could type Al. He's already like, yeah, I got you, bro. No worries. And I know it's going to be there. I ain't concerned. The official AV logistics supplier of Broker Carrier Summit is BWS.
Love it. Love it.
I
Love
saw
it.
I'm
BWS.
curious. I hadn't heard who you guys use, so I just wanted to ask.
Hey, Rob, you do know where to send that check, right?
All right, fellas.
No, I know where to send it to BWS.
Wait, he's
We're
paying me.
Yeah.
I don't pay him.
No. I don't even get a discount for that.
No rebate checks going out.
He's already in the family discount. He's under the family discount plan as it is.
Friends and families, the homeboy hookup.
Rob's out here fishing for compliments today. I like it, Rob. I like it. You're
you know what?
sponsoring carriers. You're moving freight for Kyle. We get it. We get it. You're great.
Really good haircut.
I was humble my whole life. I'm game on now. Let's go.
All right. Also in the news, as I was saying, you guys heard about Lieutenant Dan down in Tampa. He's a gentleman that has missing half a leg, so kind of from Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan, that whole thing. Turns out he's accused of trying to set a woman on fire. This is interesting. So got a little media coverage. Kyle, you look like you know something about this. What do you know about this, my friend?
Anyone that has a half a leg in Florida and lives full time on a boat, they're gonna have an interesting.
They might have a
past.
record.
Yeah,
They might have a record.
They might have a history. It's not just a series of shenanigans they fumbled into, like Forrest Gump portrayed it out to be. It's probably going to be a deep past. So maybe not something you want to give a lot of media attention to.
Yeah. I mean, they were like, "This guy going to make it?" He did make it, so kudos to him for weathering the storm. But apparently, he used some gasoline around a lady who was smoking a cigarette and poured it and kind of splashed some on her and tried to get her to set herself on fire. So.
But it didn't work. No one's mentioning that aspect of the story.
Well, it didn't work, but he tried. He tried. There was intent.
People are crazy.
Tim Tebow tried to make it in the NFL, and that didn't work, and they still talk about that idiot.
So the moral of the story is if you're in Tampa, Florida, and you're smoking a cigarette, don't go near.
Watch out for a one-legged homeless man.
Watch out for a
Run.
one-legged sailor.
He's
Do
not going
go
to keep
north
up.
if you're smoking cigarettes.
He's mainly aqua-based.
Oh, I don't want to hang with him.
Hey, speaking of smoking cigarettes, this is just a little side note. Some of you may know that I'm going to be in the Newsies production at Missouri Baptist University Theater here in a month. And I have to smoke a cigarette in the show. So never smoked a cigarette before. So
You don't have to smoke it.
Have you been practicing with like the candy
I've-
cigarettes?
No, I have not practiced yet. I got a month to figure this out.
You walk around with the pretzel rods and be like,
Smoke
"Oh,
like
this
a
isn't
cigar.
that bad."
Well, the hardest part, listen, Kyle, there's something to it. The hardest part is learning how to hold the stupid thing because I got to look like I know what I'm doing.
Start
Like,
like,
you know,
this.
you can tell people that don't
Don't
smoke.
go like this, though.
This is
Do
more of a
not
blunt.
go like
This is like.
no,
That's
you
more
gotta
of a-
start big. You gotta start big.
I gotta
and
hold
big
it like
mouth.
this. I gotta hold it like
It's
this,
the
and
wrong
it's.
impression to the kids.
Does anybody have any tips on smoking cigarettes? That's what I need to know.
You
No,
should
that's
just
how
vape like the
it's
kids do.
done.
Get a big old rig.
This or like this.
They have prop ones too. Just to get a
Well,
prop
what the
one.
He's gonna do it real. People will
Well,
know it's practical
And they-
effect.
no,
He's
but
got
they
to do
have
practical
smoking
stunts.
too. I've used
Yeah,
Nate,
see,
I'll do
Nate's
my
got it
best.
right.
I'll do my best. Yeah, we'll see. I appreciate that. So that's coming up, but we'll see how that goes. It's November 14th through 17th if you're in St. Louis. Buy some tickets, Missouri Baptist University. It's going to be fun.
What song are you singing that requires you to smoke a cigarette?
No. I'm singing songs, but not while I'm smoking a cigarette. So here's what I'm doing, Kyle. I am the editor of the newspaper Sites. I've got 3.
And you
solo
want a
parts
picture of
musically.
Spider-Man?
I've got about 12 lines. Yeah, I have to actually
Give
have
me
a voice like that.
Spider-Man, Peter.
Dude,
I could be I could do the role. I could be your understudy.
The director actually asked me to do a voice like that, so I've got to do something like that. But then there's the part in the burlesque show with the Bowery
Wait,
Beauties.
you're getting
where I
naked
am-
smoking cigarettes? You really are gonna
Well,
have to
I'm-
smoke it.
I'm in the audience watching the show. The producer decided that Sites would be taking in the burlesque show on his way home from the
What
newspaper.
the hell shenanigans
there in
did
the
you just
audience
set up?
and-
So you get to walk around smoking cigarettes, going to strip clubs now? Is it for research purposes? Is what you set up?
Have fun explaining that to the wife.
Theater. Yeah, no, that's gonna be fun. Theater, yeah. And I have to look like I'm enjoying the show with a couple of younger fellows who have kind of gotten in for the first time, like they're 21 and they just got in for the first time. And I'm sitting with them, and I have to kind of muck it up with them. So
So this is your excuse to bring Coleman. Okay, cool. He
I would
looks
say,
young.
yeah.
We're gonna do. I see what this is turning into.
When is the show? When are you doing this?
November 14 through 17 here in St. Louis at Missouri Baptist University Theater Program. Very professional production. It's pretty cool to be a part of. They're really
Maybe
good.
I'll go for a road trip. Maybe I'll come see
You
it.
should take a road trip. I know. We're trying to get Jennifer Carpenter Romaine to come. She's thinking about coming, thinking about bringing her son, Monroe. So, it could be a
To
good
the
road trip.
burlesque show?
To Newsies. Listen,
Oh,
the burlesque show is it's offside. It's off to the side portion of a scene where Jack and Catherine are having a conversation up in the balcony. So
this is
just off
a
to the
weird
side.
version of Annie. I don't remember this at all in that musical.
Newsies, but that's all right. We'll move on.
Newsies.
Moving on. All right. So
Kyle.
wait, what?
I said that's spooky, Kyle.
That is all right. All right. If you guys saw this in the news, Florida Seaport Manatee will receive $9.5 million in state emergency funding to aid recovery from Hurricane Milton. So we had a couple of the ports damaged. You know what's interesting? How quickly did the port strike news fade? Man, that is gone. Nobody's even talked about it, and it's not even done. It's just pushed off a little bit, and no one's talking about it anymore. No one's talking.
That's
about it.
why, because it's pushed off. It's like it's not urgent anymore. Like we got a couple more months because it's pushed off till January.
January 15th, right before whoever takes office next. It's
Yeah.
going to be quite interesting. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, but we're seeing some damage down there. So I'm glad it's actually a good thing that the port strike did not continue because with these damages, we're going to need all the ports to be open and operating at full capacity. So pretty interesting. It's amazing how quickly the government can just sling money around. It's a good thing when they can do it for funding, but like. It's interesting to me that the government said we're not going to make it through hurricane season. We don't have the funds, and then they chucked another $200 million or so over to Ukraine like that. Just sent it over. So
Just print some more. We'll be fine.
just print it.
Yeah,
I need to print. I need to come up with my own currency and just keep printing it so that I can keep my spending habits going because that's what the government's doing.
You want to start counterfeiting? Is that what we're going to do? I got some people.
You heard
I
it?
know some
isn't that
Floridians.
what
Lieutenant Dan's in. He's
Isn't
in.
that what the government does? Is they just print money? I mean, we should just start printing our money.
Ride the fad of Lieutenant Dan and have a cryptocurrency Lieutenant Dan coin or something like that. I guarantee it'll skyrocket. At least
Robert
initially.
Zemeckis hates us.
Also in
So,
news, this is
fourth
interesting.
dump
So shipping times are actually going up, and it's by the consumer's choice. So get this, consumers are actually choosing slower delivery times to save money because some of the fast shipping times are no longer free or they're actually costing a little bit extra. In fact, Amazon, you'll know this, they've got some free shipping options. They're actually charging a little bit more to have either key delivery or faster delivery options. And consumers are saying, nah, I'll just get it in a couple of days from now. So we're actually seeing kind of a pushback on that. Are you guys still, I need it right now, or do you guys care if it comes in 3 or 4 days? Like, what are your opinions on shipping times?
Whenever.
Free only.
$1.50.
I don't think-
Give me
yeah,
that digital bucks.
I don't think I've ever paid more for shipping on anything. I'm like, fuck it. However long.
Well, that's because you're responsible and you order on time. You're not like last minute like some of us.
Yeah,
Raquel,
Coleman, I'm the complete opposite. I'm always last minute.
no.
I'm always paying for the expedited shipping. However, whenever it comes to like personal items now, you can't get them in the store anyways. So you have to order them online, and it's just like I think we've just been taught to wait now because it's not
It'll get here when it gets here.
Think about this logically, right? So if the consumer isn't pushing the next day delivery and everything, that means that inventory is going to be held longer. So when you talk about the steamship lines taking longer transit times, it kind of makes sense when you think about that, right? Because they don't need that inventory just like that because it's not moving the way it used to.
Absolutely.
It's a good point. Yeah, so it kind of incentivizes the buyer just to push it off just a little bit.
There you go.
And to do that. So it's quite interesting. What's going on with that? Air travel is actually the biggest one. Or air delivery is the biggest one. It's down 7% right now. Yeah, Rob, go ahead.
Rob, you were saying
Amazon
something?
buyers like I am. Yeah, like if you're Amazon buyers like I am, like most of us are, I have tended to shift a little more towards okay to wait one more day to put multiple things in one box to try to reduce some of that stuff. So I'm not as in a big hurry. So.
Rob, you saying something?
Rob and I get it. Rob gets me.
We heard you, Rob. But here's also an interesting trend that's
no?
happening is that shoppers, we can, yes, sir. Shoppers are starting to buy presents earlier this year than they ever have before, and people are anticipated to spend less. 2/3 of people surveyed recently said they're going to spend less on gifts this year. And I know I'm for one. I went to my wife and said, hey, we're going to have to spend a little less on Christmas this year because the market's just not been so great. How are you guys thinking about this from a Christmas standpoint? Because we're getting close to peak season coming up. What are you guys thinking about your Christmases, how you're thinking about things? Are you pulling back a little bit, kind of keep it the same?
I don't think that peak season is going to be a peak season, to your point. You know, I don't think that people in this economy is going to spend this type of money, especially cash. They may go in debt and use their cards, maybe, most likely, but as far as cash buys, I don't think you're going to see that. You're going to see that drop quite a bit.
Yeah, I do
Whose
agree.
phone was that? Is that yours,
That
Jeff?
was Jeff's.
Jeff, that's your ringtone? I like it. Nice ringtone. All right, Raquel, sorry, go
Doesn't
ahead.
sound like Bon Jovi.
I was just saying, I do agree. I think that a lot of people around me are like strapped for cash, and it's very hard this year. And a lot of people are shopping local, which is 100% what I support always.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I think we're going to make it pretty light this year. Normally we try to do some sort of traveling or something like that for our kids and have fun. Last year we got to go to New York, which was really cool. But I think this year we're just going to lay low, get creative around the house, maybe do some like antique shopping, go do some fun stuff, move around, do some different things. So it's going to be different.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw this out there. I'm all for timing the wallet. I'm a big budget guy. But if you spread out the shopping and start now, I know that sounds crazy. It doesn't have the same effect as opposed to come December or whatever holiday you're celebrating. Like, oh, I'm dropping a G on things. Like, if you spread that out over 3 months, like, oh, it's a lot more palatable. And then you can still get the gift.
Yeah, but what if trends change, Coleman? You dummy. Also, how big's your freaking house to store all this stuff? Okay, no, you got to get what's hot when it's hot. Me personally, haven't been a good boy this year.
My wife and I
Not
started.
expecting a lot from Big Santa.
Kyle's getting
Clearly, Kyle's not getting anything.
He's getting cold,
I'm
for sure.
going to send him a condom with my graphic on it. That's what he's getting. For
Yeah,
Christmas.
now that you're addicted to cigarettes and strip clubs, I wouldn't be surprised, Trey.
That's like he doesn't want that.
Like
Yeah, that would be amazing. He would be like, this is the best gift I've ever gotten.
Yeah, I'm going to use it tonight.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he's going to show it off.
I just
Don't do
want
that. Don't do
Juan's
that.
personal porn collection. That's all I'm hoping gets
Yeah,
sent to me.
everybody at the BCS is going to be running up the tray. Hey, do you got personalized condoms?
Oh man, no.
Man, this after party's getting wild. wild.
What did I just walk into?
Bane's got his shirt off. He's lifting money.
Juan, we went off the rails about 20 minutes ago, so I'm just
Welcome.
walking back into it. Yeah, welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. That's kind of how it goes. Well, maybe that's why people are buying Christmas presents a little bit earlier this year. Maybe finding some deals or just trying to spread it out a little bit. That's always a possibility. So, Coleman, maybe people are taking you up on that strategy. Maybe that's how that's happening. So we'll have to see how that goes. We're also seeing this is interesting. States are temporarily lifting fuel tax rules for hurricane relief. I know that drivers like that and hours of service are often suspended during this time. Drivers are able to make a little bit more money. Does it impact safety in these moments where drivers need to have more hours of service and they might be running a little more tired? Is this a problem?
Running more tired is always a problem, right? I would assume. Like
You would think so.
I guess
But do we see in these moments? Do we see more accidents occurring? Do we see that happening? I don't know. I don't have the data. I'm not sure.
I bet you there is, but I also could see them not wanting to necessarily report on it quite as much, right? Like I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's what people want us to see.
The government not reporting on data accurately? That doesn't happen. That never happens.
Where's Bane in the media?
Where is Bane? Because we did see a slight modification in both crime data recently from the FBI and in jobs numbers from the Labor Department. It's interesting. It's interesting how that works, Colin, but it's possible. But I will say this. If there aren't more accidents during this time where they ease those rules, then does that make an argument that these rules are not actually working in the first place?
I mean, and the statistics, like, what is it? The statistics themselves right now are very jeopardized because there's a lot of agencies not reporting to the FBI their stats. So
Smart.
if they're
Don't
saying
snitch.
it's going down, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going down. It just means that some people are getting lazy sending their Excel reports at the end.
Almost like he heard us talking about him. I mean, what is that all about? What is this all about? Darth Bane. I like that. What's up, brother? How are you, my friend?
I'm a few days out from BCS and traveling to Texas, and then as soon as we go to BCS, I'm going to Florida for a weekend. So we're in prime time.
In the water.
Dude, let's go. 400. Let's go.
Yes.
We are breaking records this year at the BCS. So did you hear us talking a little bit about the government not reporting data accurately? Is that why you hopped on?
What? No. They would never lie to us.
They would never do that. I don't know who would think of something like that. That's just absolutely crazy. But the question, Bane, that we have on the table is this.
Like, we didn't do it, and we found out they did. And go, oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah, oops, sorry, we got this wrong. But the question on the table is this. We've currently seen hours of service be temporarily suspended because of hurricane relief efforts. Are we seeing an increase in accidents? And if we aren't, is that an argument that the hours of service don't actually work?
So there's a couple schools of thought for that. So you could make the argument that in this time they aren't working, but also, is there a measure of how much additional caution drivers are using while in those areas? Is there also data that supports how less traffic there is in those areas that would mean there's going to be less opportunity for accidents? So there's that. Then there's also the concept of course they don't work. All they were designed to do was to put additional restrictions on independent business owners. And so why do we even need them? And it continues to show that the government puts regulations in place. They have no idea what they're doing because you don't have actual operators or people that are experienced in the field. You just have a bunch of fucking nerds that say, yes, we're going to do that.
That sounds.
I mean, the argument could be made that if I work 15 hours at an office, all day, and then I drive home, I'm just as tired as the person driving down the road.
The difference is they can relate to
restrictions on
that,
that.
and you're just grinding. You're just grinding. And if you kill somebody, it's fine. It's whatever. It's your fault. But now you've got more money involved. So now we've got to have a whole fucking thing about it.
Yeah. Well, and another argument for the safety during these times is that people probably have a little bit of adrenaline rushing. They're helping in a way that they're not normally helping. They're providing resources in a way they're not normally doing that. Feel like they're really contributing to people in need. Maybe that's allows for a little more focus when they're driving. And those types of things. That's always possible. It's interesting though. Yeah, so it's interesting to kind of think about that. But so we were just chit-chatting about that because they've lifted the fuel tax rules for hurricane relief right now from October 11th to November 9th. It's suspended the IFTA requirements, and motor fuel use tax is all suspended for single trip permitting.
Oh, November 9th, so the day after the election.
That's so interesting.
Wait,
let's be getting hauled during that day.
I was going to say, speaking of election, Trey, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes. I don't know if we're going to talk about this. We should all say who's going to win the election right here, right now.
There's
See
no one else.
what we
There's
think.
no one even.
There's-
I'm gonna win.
We put our.
I'm gonna win. The Harry Balls
There's just
campaign
no-
is not doing well.
We're all going on record right now, October 18th, who we think is going to win in just under 3 weeks. Crazy.
I'm
to
just
think.
hoping
Under-
Shrooms
Let's go,
wins in
Donald.
Massachusetts. I want Shrooms to pass, and then that way we get. You can come up here, Trey. We can prepare for your next Newsy or Annie's play that you got. We trip on Shrooms. We do some smooching. We find out where we're at. Coleman stepping on toes.
Bane is
I mean, you
throwing
lost me at
fingers.
smooching, but
Did I? Did
All
I?
right, so this is so we'll clarify.
We got
This
some
is
videos.
this is we'll clarify. This is who we think is going to win, not necessarily saying who
Correct.
we're voting for. This is who we
Correct.
think is going to win.
That's
All right, so
valid.
let's go
That's
around there.
valid.
Coleman,
Yeah.
Coleman, what do you got? Who do you think?
I do think that Donald Trump is going to win. I think he's going to be the next
Okay.
president.
One for Donald Trump. All right, Jeff, what do you think?
Kyle. Kyle's going
Do
to
you
win.
think Kyle's going to win? Okay,
Yes.
all right.
No, not who you're voting
When am I
for.
gonna
Jeff.
win?
That's what we just said.
Yeah, not who you're writing in. Who do you think is going to win? Kyle's not going to get more than like 10 votes.
Yeah, probably
All right, it's
Trump.
going to be him. It's
I
going to
got
be
10
you.
votes. That's
Probably
waste of a
Trump.
vote.
There's two right
Big
there.
waste.
Jeff says Donald Trump. Okay, Raquel, what do you think?
I'm
From
pretty
the home
sure
of the first
that
assassination attempt. What do you
I
think?
heard that Trump is in the head of the polls, and I believe that he will win.
You think you will? Okay, so we got 3 for Trump. Okay, Bane.
So
Darth
I
Vader.
will.
He's wearing the red. He has embraced the Sith.
He's wearing black, you dummy. This is background one.
I do.
All right.
I want to say this very clearly. I don't give a shit who you vote for. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Go. If you're in Illinois, vote early.
Just
Vote
vote.
often.
Vote early.
Even if
go.
you're outside of the U.S.,
Vote.
just go.
Did you say
vote.
vote often?
Yes, that's what we do in Illinois.
Vote early, vote often.
Often.
This is not the voice, dude. It's the presidential election. Go out and vote
stand by
early.
my-
Vote once.
Don't
That's
vote
what
we're
once,
saying.
but twice, maybe 3 times.
But all I'm saying is go vote. Go make your vote. And here's what I'm going to tell you. If someone bitches about the state of the union after this election, and I hear you didn't vote, I will personally come to it and slap the shit out of you. You do not get to bitch if you don't vote.
Ah, I love it.
Ooh, you down to slap, you little freak? How about I say I don't vote? This is how we're taking
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Kyle's not voting. Uh-oh.
I didn't vote at all, baby, and I
Bane.
hate the State of the Union. It takes
All right,
up
you-
prime
let's keep
time
going, let's keep
television.
going.
I need to
Juan.
ask you something. It's very
You
Juan, what do you
little
think?
freak.
All right, Trump's
He
winning.
can't. He doesn't count. He can't even vote.
He's a U.S.
There's
citizen.
something called an absentee ballot. Just saying.
Dude, he can totally vote. All right, so
Eddie,
Juan, what do you think?
So, first of all, like Bane, you have to try Power Slap. Dude, I'll sponsor your corner.
I'm down.
What is Power
I would
Slap?
be down to watch it.
You guys haven't
Never
seen
seen
Power
it.
Slap?
Oh no, like I know it.
Are you talking about the one where they slap
Oh,
each
you're
other
talking
on the
about the
butts while wearing the
competition.
thong?
I-
One? Is this the
I'd-
porn you've been
I'd pay
watching?
top dollar to see Bane slap people up to like knocks out.
Man, I
That
know
would be
Juan's
fun,
also
actually.
a little freak
If
with
I
you,
slap
Bane.
somebody, like, that's the problem. Like,
Hey, we can do that.
All right, so Juan, Juan.
What?
His first entrance.
Who do you think's going to win the election? You got to give your thought.
Um,
Okay, so we got 4 for Trump. All right, so
By a
Kyle, what do you think?
landslide.
Kamala, fuck all you nerds. I don't know any of
You know-
this shit.
You know
What
who
kind of
predicted
stupid
it?
question is this? I think Bud Light's
Hey,
better
this
than
is
Coors
Coleman's
Light. I'll
question
vote
we
for
got.
that.
The Simpsons
All right.
predicted it.
So we have no vote from Kyle. Okay, Scott.
Trump fans.
Okay, Rob, what do you got?
Yes.
Oh, I said Kamala.
He's a
Laffer, who are you going to
Okay.
vote for?
I think I think Trump's going to win. I think that's what's going to happen. So we're all on record. We got it all on record.
Yeah.
Everybody's.
regardless,
Can I ask-
go vote. Go vote.
Can I ask one more question about this too?
Nope,
I got
you're
in an
done.
argument about this actually with my dad, and this is for you, Bane. So, are you saying if you have an opinion, like if you're going to bitch about it afterwards, go vote, or if you really don't care, are you still saying you got to go?
Go vote. Go vote. If you don't vote, you don't get the right to complain afterwards.
I
If
100%
I
agree with
don't
that.
complain,
100%.
and
Yeah, exactly.
I also don't agree that my vote even matters because they change them
No, it's all
anyways.
rigged.
Will you still slap us?
I'm kind of with Raquel on that. That's the biggest thing.
Watch out, Raquel. You do not want it. He's strong.
I got into an argument with my dad about this, but this was a couple years ago. He's like, make sure
Yeah.
to go out and vote for this person because he's a Democrat. And I'm like, listen, I'm not very well versed in terms of what these whole parties are about. So I'm going to go and vote, because I would almost argue that an uneducated vote is worse than not voting. Right? Like, if
No,
I'm just
it's
gonna
really
vote,
nothing.
these
You
people
can
are
vote.
voting
It
for-
doesn't matter.
No,
I mean, I kind of agree
Drew
with that.
might like
Take
my
it
dad
over
too.
that.
Like he's a hardcore CNN guy,
Guys.
and they see the world different. Like their lens are completely different. My dad is 100% Biden Harris, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why? This doesn't.
Well,
even,
that's probably
it's
wrong,
not even
'cause
for your
Biden's
best
not even in it.
convenience.
I'll tell you what's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Because he's not even running. That's really bad
Yeah,
for
I'll tell
your
you what's-
forefather.
No, but I mean,
What's really interesting
he's-
is that,
he's all the way from January 6th with all the craziness. He's even before that. He's always been a CNN guy, and it's like his lens of the world are completely different.
Oh, the
So here's what's really interesting about that. What's really interesting about that is that you had Trump go on with the Economic Club of Chicago, and that was a little contentious. You had Kamala go on with Fox News. That was a little contentious. And if you listen to people responding to that, it's like they're living in two different worlds. I mean, Republicans think that Donald Trump killed it. He was like sharp of all that, and Democrats thought this guy's losing it. And the same thing with Kamala, with hers, people thought, she lost her temper, she lost her control, she's not presidential. And others said she's so strong, she's presidential. Like it's like you're living in two different worlds depending on who you listen to. It's unbelievable.
I was talking with my father-in-law about this too, about that debate, and love him to death. He tends to be on the Republican side of things, and he was like, it was so clear. She was being fed all of the answers in her ear. Like she had all the questions already. Like she was wearing an earring or something. I'm like, just because you saw a little conspiracy theory article doesn't mean it's true.
So, Bane, out of
But it is.
Coleman's father or father-in-law,
But it
who
is.
are you going to slap
But it
first?
is.
Me, please me.
As long as they go vote.
Ooh, real
Yeah.
kinky over there.
I will challenge that the uneducated vote is worse. The fact that we have this and you can't be uneducated. I'm sorry, you cannot be uneducated. We are the most connected society that's ever existed.
Hold my
Misinformation, say whatever you want. You can go find. I don't agree with her. We're all fairly intelligent on this call. Those who are watching this are fairly intelligent too. You know when you see bullshit. You know when you see it.
Yeah.
And so there's no excuse to be uneducated. It's being lazy. That's certainly something.
I
If you're
100%
too
agree
lazy,
with that. Yeah.
guess what? That's on you. Still go out and vote, because this is something that if you go outside of this country, Juan, you can attest to this. You go outside of this country, the majority of people on this call wouldn't have the right to go vote.
I
So
mean, I'm
true.
a white
It's true.
male. I'm pretty sure I'm fine.
I mean, we
Yeah,
just
but you smoke weed,
we
so
don't
there's
have to
not
look
much
far
better.
away or like
No, I don't. I live
don't
in
have to-
free. I'm not
No, dude,
addicted to
this is-
cigarettes like Trey.
you don't have to look far away. Just across Florida, they can't vote. Just across the
What
like
are you talking about?
100 nautical
100 miles away.
miles, they can't vote. They get on
In
rafts
Cuba?
and they float and they
Cuba.
swim their butts all the way to Florida.
No, that's a Royal Caribbean, and usually it's about the buffet bar one.
So
They
let's-
don't vote on that part. Everyone's allowed, buddy.
So let's open up a little bit of a can of worms, because Raquel, you said something interesting, and I think this is an interesting point that more people are starting to really believe, and that is two things. One, that non-citizens are voting in places. It's more than we think. Everybody said they're real secure. And two, are the votes being counted correctly? Somebody said long ago, it doesn't matter who votes; it matters who counts the votes. That's an interesting comment that was made long ago. But this is really fascinating. And here's my thought on this. I'm going to share my thought and let you guys share yours. Is I have people who say hardcore, these things aren't happening, the votes are secure, there's no way you can think that people are cheating or that the election wasn't secure, yada, yada, yada. Imagine this. Imagine that you were at a basketball park somewhere in your city, and you just pulled 10 guys off the street to play a game of 5-on-5, and the winning team gets $10,000. Do you think anybody among those 10 players would do something potentially just outside of the rules to win? 100%.
How do they collude? How do they come together to think of that?
100% they would. Okay,
It's 10
They would
people. You're
definitely-
talking about millions of people, Trey. How
No,
the
but
hell are they
listen.
going to collude and come up with this thing and not
And
it be
can I
out there?
finish my
They've
thought?
covered it. All
Can I
right.
finish my thought?
No.
If in a game of 5-on-5 basketball, people will bend the rules to win $10,000. Do you not think that people vying for the most control of the most powerful country in the world would not try to circumvent some of the rules, especially if they can get away with it? So my answer to that is we have to be 100% on guard of these things. And the only way that it works is if both Democrats and Republicans are able to watch and be a part of the process. And so until state governments allow equal representation to watch these things and for it to be completely transparent, and in my opinion, potentially go back to paper ballots, or at least make sure that there are paper trails of every ballot. It blew me away that there were votes in a system and there weren't paper ballots to reconcile that. That blew me away when that report occurred. Like, that should never happen. So I think we have to take that very seriously, or else we potentially shift into a place where, just like that 5-on-5 game, if there's no official, if there's no referee at that game, they will start breaking the rules to try to win until they absolutely can't get caught. And then it ends up in a fight. And that's exactly where we find ourselves.
So that argument that you're just making, though, is if you believe people are good or bad. So you fundamentally believe
people are what?
People are bad, good or bad.
Oh, people are definitely fundamentally bad. 100%.
See, I don't
100%.
necessarily.
No, they're not.
Okay, Coleman, let me give you one point.
I don't trust
let me give you one point that you're going to witness the next 2 years, okay?
Perfect.
You and Jesse are phenomenal parents. You're incredible people. Two of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, without a doubt. And I'm not just fluffing you up here. That's absolutely true. You guys are incredible people. All right?
He once met Guy Fieri.
You will never have to teach Sloan to hit or to be selfish or to steal or to lie. You'll never have to teach those things. She already knows how to do it because it's innate in who we are as human beings. What you will have to teach her is how to share, how to be honest, how to respect people. That's every kid knows how to lie, and they do it if their parents have never taught them how to do it. Listen, we homeschooled our kids. Our kids were not around a lot of people, and they were not around bad people. They were with people at church for the most part, and us.
You don't think that's
and they still knew how to
Stripe?
steal. They
That's
still knew how to
outside?
hit. They still knew how to do all those things.
No, people are inherently good, dude. How are you sitting there saying that's all bad
That's an
stuff?
interesting point.
No, the only thing that's inherent amongst babies is to nurture amongst their mothers, Trey. You are wild if you think that a baby's sitting there like, I could be stealing $50 out of this motherfucker
Listen,
anytime I want.
they're
They're sitting there to nurture. That's what their instinct is. A baby's instinct is to immediately connect to a person. That's what our instincts are. We don't come out of the womb going, yo, I gotta fucking steal, rob, lie. I ain't Eddie Guerrero on this. You're a little wild on this.
Kids are mean.
No, but a kid learns from its parents.
My daughter ain't mean. My daughter ain't got no mean bone in her body, Wom. She's 4 years old.
But she's 4 years old.
She doesn't do that? Yeah, no,
She's 4 years old.
She's
Just-
not
just wait
inherently
till
mean.
she's
She learned it.
And she'll learn selfishness. That's right. And she'll
As-
learn how to slap before things.
Put something down.
Man, you guys must fucking hate people.
Yes.
Scott, we can't hear you very well. Speak up. We can't hear you very well.
What's my settings? Can you hear this? Test 1, 2.
I think
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
weird.
raised
It's
Mike.
weird.
I think it's coming out of your
Still Trey's
laptop, not your mic.
It's really, really soft. It's really, really soft.
How about now? This is a better mic.
There you go. There you go.
I had
There
my
you
own
go.
mic. I had my right mic.
I think
No.
we should just cancel the
So
rest
yeah,
of the show.
I have a
and
4-year-old too. When I walk
cancel the
out of
rest
my
of the way.
bedroom and she's sitting on a couch and she puts something down or hides something, and I say, "What are you doing?" She says, "Nothing." Where she didn't learn. I mean, she could have learned that from my 18-year-old. So never mind.
Scott, when she comes up and gives you a hug because she missed you, where'd she learn that from?
Because I come home and I gave her a hug when I came.
Okay.
I
think
have a
Dana has
very
something to say.
different
Oh, go ahead.
opinion.
I want to
about
hear
this.
Raquel.
I feel
For her laptop.
people are innately good. I think those are sins, right? It is a sin of the gluttony. It is a sin of needing the greed. And I think greed is the biggest problem that we battle, especially when it comes to the polls, because it controls everything. Whoever wins controls what's going to happen. But I definitely think people are innately good and they don't want to do things that are bad. They just don't want to have the bad things happen to themselves. So therefore they are afraid.
Yeah. No one's a
All right.
bad guy. No one's the bad guy in their own story.
Bane's
No one
ready.
actively becomes the bad guy. Think about it.
I'd
Every one
like
of the
to make-
baddest
Keep
people in the
going.
world think
I'm
they're
gonna
doing
miss
good.
games.
There isn't.
All right, Bane's
there isn't
in.
a-
Bane's in.
There isn't a good and bad. It's how we interpret it. The child lying, stealing, hit, whatever. All this comes back to ultimately self-preservation. Before we decided on this, law of the land, we all lived by the law of the jungle. Bigger, stronger, faster. That's who rules. So what is self-preservation? It's making sure that me, Robert Bain, Raquel, Trey, I take care of me first and me only. Humans became communal because they realized I can take care of myself better with more resources around me. So that is, yes, you are correct that we have to learn how to share those things differently. But how we are innately designed is to take care of ourselves. That is not good or bad. That is simply survival. Now, we as a society have placed morals on those different things. Is it good to lie? No, it's not. Do people do it? Absolutely do. So when lying is what makes sure that I don't get in trouble, I don't get hit, I don't have to deal with consequences, it's simply a survival mechanism.
No.
Use that example. Again, it's all how we interpret.
I agree.
Appreciate that. All right, so this conversation got really good. I appreciate all your perspectives. I love that. So here's my final take, and then we'll end with this. I do believe that people have the capacity to do good and bad, but I think it's innate. It's built in. Like I think it's the core of who we are. I don't think all of these are all learned behaviors. Some behaviors good are learned. Some bad behaviors are learned. But there's something innate about all of us that self-preservation, whatever it is, we will do things to hurt other people to preserve ourselves. And as a society, we'd say that that's not good, and that's innate in who we are. So I think it's both. I think there's the capacity to do good and bad in human beings, but because bad is a part of the DNA. And I'm telling you, Coleman, never have to teach Sloan how to hit.
Yeah,
just know how to do
I think there's a difference between stepping on others to get to be like a better self versus not doing that, right? Like lying, cheating, stealing is a little bit different on certain aspects. Stealing a piece of candy from Dad because it's Halloween, I didn't get it, is different than saying, "Hey, I'm going to go steal 50 G's from this dude that only has."
Will not happen.
Yes, it is.
Not in my house.
Get the bag.
Oh,
The only thing you gotta teach Sloan, the only thing you're not teaching Sloan is how to suck a boob and how to fall asleep. Those are the only things we as humans immediately know how to do. She had to learn lying, cheating, stealing from something. Like to say that it's something we're born in. No, the only thing she's doing right now is sleeping, crying, getting a boob. Which is still kind of what I live my life with.
That's, I mean, same.
Kyle. And with that, we should probably start to end the show. We'll close it out. Before we get to This Week in Pictures, though, we'll end by saying this. If you haven't signed up for Broker Care Summit, there's still time. Go to brokercaresummit.com and register coupon code BETA, BETA, get 10% off. We'd love to see you in Fort Worth. Make sure you come up and introduce yourself if we don't know you when you get to Fort Worth. All right, let's go ahead and turn our attention to This Week in Pictures. And it's on me this week. So here we go. Coming up on the screen. There it is. All right. So first out of the gate is, Scott, what do we got?
Yes, made it. This is just some pictures from Disney. I was able
Dude,
to.
You guys are Disney freaks. I love it.
Yeah, I was able to spend a lot of money on my little 4-year-old and have the little boutique, and it was awesome. You'll have to look at my social media. I created a cool little video of her transition. It was really sweet, but yeah, it was fun. And then it's me. Yeah, look at me on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Bye, Raquel.
Bye, guys. Sorry, my
awesome.
computer's dying. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you.
You didn't wear the ears, Scott? You didn't put on the Mickey ears?
No, they wouldn't.
I thought it was required.
My head's too small.
Dude, that is the time in life where Disney is truly magical. Like that is the magical age where it all kind of comes to life. And it's like, oh my gosh. And the princesses are so amazing in how they act. I mean, that whole experience is just absolutely tremendous. I
used to know Tinkerbell. Well, I still know her. She used to be Tinkerbell.
Really? How long was she Tinkerbell?
She wasn't real. She was.
I think it was 2 years.
2 years having to act Tinkerbell out. That's crazy. Did you notice that the character started to morph into the person, or was she able to separate the two and really be kind of two different people?
She couldn't.
They're all theater kids. She's the theater kid. She could separate it.
She could separate them. Yeah. Total theater kids.
When my daughter, she was dressed as Snow White. When she met the Snow White, I have the video. I'm just like, this is Snow White. I was convinced. I was like, where's the bird that I'm talking to her?
It's really amazing. I mean, when you see them and the way they talk, and when you ask them questions, they answer them in character because they have the history.
I ran into the evil stepmother and her daughters. Those girls are mean.
Man, so good. so good.
She's like, I'm not you have not so favorite person on your T-shirt. I'm not signing anything. I'm like, oh
yeah, dang.
Like, I'm a 4-year-old you're talking to.
Oh man, it's wild. Also, okay, I got a couple to share. First of all, Christmas time is up in Home Depot. It's already started, folks. If you haven't started buying decorations for Christmas, you can.
Mariah Carey's gaining power.
That's in the bottom left corner there. Had the chance to play golf.
The animatronics? Do you run away from the Halloween ones, Trey? Do you just like, no? You just run right to the Christmas ones?
I don't pay any attention to the Halloween ones.
Too
No, not at all.
spooky? Too scary?
Yeah, too scary. We don't have any Halloween decorations at our house. Nothing. We got nothing. So sorry, Morgan. We have nothing. Also, I got to play some golf with Big Ed Burns, and we didn't play very well. We had a good time. Also, got to go to Jacksonville on Monday and play in a little golf outing with Wasim and our good friend Wasim and several people there. Eric Masadi, Eric Kruger, Ryan Schreiber, and so many others. So I had a great time with that. And over on the right-hand side, my mom sent me a card just to tell me that she loves me. Oh, it never gets old. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate that.
People are good.
Get a card from Mom is always good. Moms are definitely good, Coleman, with their sons. That's for sure. So it wasn't. It was funny too because my mom said, "Be looking in the mail, be looking in the mail," and that usually means that she's written me a strongly worded letter that she's thought about. And so I was a little nervous about what I was going to get in the mail. This time it was just a card just to say, "You're a great son." Appreciate it. So thanks, Mom. Appreciate that. All right, everybody, we're out of here. We'll see you next week from Fort Worth, Texas, from the Broker Carrier Summit. We'll be coming to you live, noon Central. We'll see you then. Hopefully, we'll see you in Fort Worth at the Broker Carrier Summit. Until next time, peace out, everybody. Let's go.
A-Town down.